Well, my computer broke. And until I get a new one, all the videos will be unedited, so let's hope that it comes in soon. But the videos will still have the same quality, damn it. That's my logo, apparently, for now. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, our movie in the middle is Judas and the Black Messiah, which just came out this weekend on HBO Max and in theaters. And is directed by Shaka King, stars Daniel Kaluuya, Lakeith Standfield, and Jesse Plemmons, and it's about the Black Panther Party and this guy named William O'Neill, who gets in a tight spot and can either go to jail or he can infiltrate the Black Panther Party and give the FBI information on them. This is a very powerful movie, and it is also really well done. And I mean, it's one of those that it's like it really lent itself to being for being a true story, a great film. That didn't have to be contrived or is like, okay, that didn't make sense or anything. I mean, it was really, they could really get into the nitty gritty of all these little details, and it just made it that much more powerful. It was great. Daniel Kaluuya, I think this is his best role because I fully believed him as Fred Hampton from the moment he walked in the room. You could tell that he just, I mean, obviously with all the reactions of the characters and everything, he gains that presence and that respect, but he seems to hold it himself. You know, like he has the authority, but he also has the cool. He has the conflict when he's by himself, but also like when he gets on stage, he's like, I'm for the people and I gotta have this presence and I'm their kind of leader and their symbol of hope. And I just think he did an incredible job. Lakeith Stanfield is one of also my favorite actors working today, and everything I see him in, except for like Knives Out and obviously Get Out, because he played not really him for most of the movie. A lot of the times he seems a lot more, I don't say chill, but a lot more like laid back or like reserved in the acting, depending on his character. But in this one, you could really see a lot of his emotion in the conflict that he had in, I have to do this for the FBI and I keep getting stuck. And every time I'm like, okay, I'm out. They're like, that's not how this works. But then he starts to feel closer to the actual party. Like he wasn't really in it to begin with, but then he starts to feel close with the brothers and the sisters in the Black Panthers. And as he learns more about them and, as they go through different tragedies and everything like that. So you really get to see a lot of his conflict and the struggle he's going through. And, kind of it's a really tight spot. And I would not know what to do if that was me. That is a really tough spot. And he plays that really well, that struggle. Another really big high about this movie, just on a technical standpoint, was the music. Actually, the score really stood out to me. Every scene felt like the score was slightly different. It all kind of had the same overall sound, but it was all slightly. Sometimes it was 1920s ish. Sometimes it was like bongos and more. I don't like tribal music. Sometimes it was just a lot of like sounds, like in The Shining, where it was like sounds were the score. Um, and they all really stood out to me, but in a good way. Like it was just they were all different. They were really cool. I really liked all the different soundtrack scores that were in there. So that was a really great high as well. But I mean, overall, this was just a really well made movie about this story that like we've seen these same themes a lot over the last couple years in real life and in movies, but it always bears repeating and showing really just what went on in history and what still goes on today. Um, but all of the scenes, I mean, I loved the just the community that this group had and their just love for each other and their protection of each other. And it was really great. It was really awesome to see. um and also Jesse Plemons did a really great job as well because he plays this FBI agent who obviously has these moral standards, but when he gets, I don't want to say threatened, but very persuaded by his boss J. Edgar Hoover, who is played by Martin Sheen, he just cracks down, and he's like, I can't mess around anymore. William O'Neill, you got to do this for me, or I got to throw you in jail. Because I mean, it's just he from the act like the first half of the movie to the second half of the movie, he really has a tonal shift because of that uh, threat, and you can really see it. And it just is he did a really awesome job. Definitely one of the best actors to come out of Breaking Bad, surprisingly. In terms of lows, I really only have one big ish low, and that's that I wish we had just gotten a little bit more in some concrete scenes of where O'Neill was at each point in the movie in terms of, is he more on the FBI side? Is he more on the Black Panther side? I mean, we get a lot of that already, but there were like one or two scenes where I was like, I can't tell if he's still, faking it, and he's still just trying to be the informant, or if he really cares about them. Because there are some scenes where it feels like he really cares, and then he's by himself, and it seems like the movie's trying to like make this big shocker that, oh, this was just like an FBI stunt, but I couldn't really tell. So sometimes it might have just been me, but sometimes it felt like I wasn't really sure, even as an audience member with him by himself on screen, whether he was on one side or the other totally. But again, I mean, that's just all part of the conflict, so that wasn't really a huge conflict or critique for me. But being, like one of the main characters, probably the protagonist of the story, I would have liked to have just known a little bit more of where his headspace was at in certain times. This isn't another critique for the movie itself. Like, it's not a drawback for the movie, but it's just something I noticed is that we got both this and Trial of the Chicago 7, and with this within a span of like 4 months. And Trial of the Chicago 7, Fred Hampton is at the trial with Bobby Seale. In this, while the trial's going on, it's implied that Fred is in jail the whole time. He does at one point get out of jail, but I think the trial by that point is already over, because there is a scene in this movie where they reference a scene in Trial of the Chicago 7, and it doesn't match up to where Fred Hampton was in this movie versus where he was in that movie. And so I'm just like, who didn't do their research? I got to look that up, but that was really curious to me. I don't know. But again, that's not like a critique on this movie. So Judas and the Black Messiah was really great. It was very, you could just get into the details of this community and of the people, because it's not like that complicated of a story, even for being like crime and everything. It was just powerful, just like, yeah, I think I said that about Trial of Chicago 7 as well. But it was really great. I'm going to give Judas and the Black Messiah a 3.5 out of 4. Go check it out if you can in theaters. If you have HBO Max, I realize that I have HBO Max through Xfinity, so that's cool. If you have HBO Max through your provider, at least you can watch it for free. Don't try to support it if you can money-wise, because, they're taking away movies from theaters. But yeah, go check it out if you can. It's really great. Again, I think it's Daniel Kaluuya's best performance so far. And as always, keep your hopes high, your stress low, and movies right in the middle. Pray I get my laptop soon so I can have more edited movies and I can finally catch up on a lot of the ones that I've been missing. I'll see you guys later. Just subscribe.